Well, it may be about time to replace my push mower. I've had this yard machine mower for maybe 8 years. I found it on the side of the road. My neighbor was throwing it away, and because he said he couldn't get it running, and I asked him if I could have it, and he said sure. So I got it, and it just had a problem here with the cutoff switch. So I basically took off the safety interlock, and I used a piece of wire here to turn it on and off, and that was really the only problem it had. But lately, it started developing a rust issue in the front here, and uh, uh, more like a safety issue too. It could throw a rock through there or something like that. So I decided to look into either replacing it or repairing it. And so I ordered a new mower, and it came in. I'll show you what I ended up getting. So I ordered this mower. It's a 22-inch from Home Depot, 22 inches and 200 cc, which pretty impressive numbers, and the price was really low. But I was very skeptical because it's only sold online. You couldn't go into the store and take a look at it. And I realized the reason is because if you could go in the store and look at it, you would probably never buy it. And so I kind of knew that going into it, that this probably would not work out for me. But I figured I'd go ahead and order it, get it in, take a look at it. And if I don't like it, I'll take it back. And sure enough, I got it in, took a look at it, didn't like it. So I'm going to be taking it back. I'm not even going to fire it up. I'm not going to put oil or gas in it. But I'm going to show you a few of the things I found, and maybe it will help you decide whether you want to buy one of these or not. The specs are, like I say, are impressive. 200 cc motor. That's larger than most of the other push mowers or even self-propelled. This one happens to be self-propelled. And that also, I was skeptical about the quality of that. I see on the box, it's not a Briggs & Stratton motor. The whole thing is made in China. And I'm not sure about where you would get the parts. Maybe that's just the way things are going to be now. I'm not sure. But right off, I could see it's got a primer bulb here. It takes says 3 presses to prime the carburetor, and this rubber bulb, you can feel it. It's very spongy and very thin, and I would suspect that might be a problem. And if you kept this out in the sun, that plastic or rubber would probably get hard and crack probably very soon. And I usually keep my mowers outside so they don't get much protection. So for me, it's kind of a consideration. But I was looking around at the motor here. I've never seen a motor. I'm not an expert on lawnmower engines, but I've had quite a few. But I've never seen one that has a crankcase split at a 45-degree angle like that. Also, you can tell it's kind of thin casting. But it does have this is pretty nice. The dipstick sticks out here and it clicks in. And it has a sign that says shipped with no oil, and then another one telling you to use 10W30. It had oil, something spilled out of it in the box. I'm not sure. It must have had a little bit of oil in it. But the plastics on it are kind of, you can tell they're not going to hold up. And even the wheels, they're not rubber wheels. They're hard plastic like you'd find on a children's power wheel or something like that. It has one thing that is nice is this feature here. You can adjust the height of the mower, which I think maybe other ones have this. I don't know. I've never had one like this before. This is a really nice feature, but the metal here that the cam locks into is very thin, and I imagine that would probably not take much abuse before it starts wallowing out and breaking. It's so thin, it's just, I don't know why they couldn't have just made it just a little thinner or a little bit thicker to last a little longer. And I was interested in how the drive wheels work, so I wanted to take a look at one. I've got lift the wheel up off the ground. I was surprised this just popped off, and I believe that might be, that might pop off when you're using it. I'm not sure over time, it's not very securely placed in there. But I'm interested to see the wheel here. So I wanted to take a look at this. And so this is a solid plastic wheel, and it's got 2 bearings in it. And the drive gear looks like it's made out of metal, and this is just a dust shroud here. But the gear on the wheel is just a part of the wheel itself, and plastic, and I'm not sure really how long that would hold up over time. I think I would prefer something a little more durable, especially My yard is a little rough. You know, it's got some places where it's not just a smooth golf course kind of grass. It's got some holes in it where the dogs dug it up. And I think this mower would suffer from all the jars and things like that it would encounter in my yard. And really, I just use it for trimming. I got a tractor for the main part of the yard, but I just need something to go around and get the places the tractor won't go. And then on the front here, front wheel, it's also hard plastic. And the same kind of push-on hubcap. It's got bearings in here. You would definitely want to keep these on the front because the bearing doesn't appear to be sealed. So you would want to like pack that with grease probably on the inside now to keep it from rusting up. But I'm also interested to take a look at the drive mechanism, how that works. Even though I know I'm not gonna keep this mower, but I'm interested to see how they made it, and maybe it'll help me in my comparison of the other mowers. So I got the mower flipped up on its side to take a look at the drive. It has a small transmission here, and this is the cable that actuates the engagement of this belt. You can see back behind here is a pulley and a small drive belt that comes up here and goes around the motor here. I actually was interested about the blade here. It's actually not 22 inches. It's 21 and a half. So I don't know why they're calling it a 22-inch mower. Maybe that's how they measure it. I don't know, but I was expecting the blade to actually measure 22 inches. So I'm going to step around and show you the lever that actuates the engagement of the drive here. I can't really see what it's doing, but I can imagine it's moving that lever. I'll just watch the video later and see. It's got two levers here. One's the drive and one engages the engine. So I'll show you this lever here. It opens and closes this flapper here. When you're not using the bag, I guess you close the flap. Again, it's kind of thin plastic. So I'll give you a view from this side too, just in case you're interested in this mower. This is where the air filter would be, inside there. But like I say, this one's going to go back to Home Depot. It looked like when it was delivered, I could tell it hadn't been used, but the box had been opened before, and the box looked like it had been around the world a couple times. Like maybe I'm not the first one to order it and get it in and decide not to keep it, and I wouldn't be surprised if I'm not the last one to get it and return it for the same reasons. I mean, it's super flimsy stuff. Not going to hold up, I don't believe. But I guess you get what you pay for if you're lucky.